Susan Safford. I'm the Director of Pastoral Ministries for the Diocese of Rapid City, and I'd like to share with you a little bit about the Year of the Eucharist website for our diocese. We're really looking forward to this year, and we hope that it's an opportunity for everyone in the diocese to fall more deeply in love with Jesus in the Eucharist. So that's what we hope to help with in using the resources found on this website. Remember that there's a lot of material here. There's theology about the Eucharist. There's information for liturgies and for faith formation activities. But ultimately, our goal is really to help people to know that this is Jesus who comes to us in the Eucharist. He wants to be with us. And he comes with this great love for us, and he wants us to share that love with him. So if we can help people to fall more deeply in love with Jesus in the Eucharist, that's our goal. And the resources that you'll find here, we hope they're helpful to you. You can use as many of them as you want. You can feel free to use some, all, or none of those resources if they're not helpful to you. Whatever helps you in your parish to bring an understanding, a love for the Eucharist to your people. There's many, many other resources out there that you could use besides this one. So I want to share with you with that. I want to share with you the website. First of all, just how to get there. Just type in yearoftheeucharist.org, and that will take you to directly to our page on our diocesan website. And you'll see at the top there the diocesan logo here for the Year of the Eucharist. So a lot of great materials on this website. And so I just want to walk you through what's here. Starting with the top section here, it says, for use during the celebration of the Mass. These are resources that come to us from Father Mike Malloy, the director of the Office of Worship. And he has provided here a number of resources for use for the Mass. So you'll see, you can click on each one of these. The first one is Help for Homilies and Brief Teachings on the Mass. And he has organized those according to the calendar. And so you can see here in the index, teaching before Mass, suggested homilies, and you can go straight to those pages in his resource, and you'll see there what he has to offer, a little short teaching, a little short homily help. The next thing you see here are intercession suggestions, and again, these are various intercessions that you could use for Corpus Christi, but also for any of the Masses during the Year of the Eucharist. You can use some of these particular general intentions. Then he has information on Eucharistic processions and canopy instructions. So if you don't have a canopy in your parish, he has instructions here on how you might make a canopy, planning a Eucharistic procession. So if you've never done a Eucharistic procession before, all of that information you can find here in this document. The next thing on the list is information about the opening Mass for the Year of the Eucharist. We're past that opening Mass right now, but you might find some helpful information in there. Underneath, then we have resources for faith formation events. The intention of this section is really for, maybe you do it on Wednesday nights, maybe you do it on Sundays, but whenever you gather your people for faith formation, religious education, those kinds of things, these are resources that you can use on the Eucharist. The first thing you'll see is a suggested calendar. This calendar incorporates the various resources that you'll find on our website. And again, this is just a suggestion. You certainly don't have to use this at all. But we recommend maybe once a month having a liturgy, either an opening Mass for the whole school year, or periodically throughout the year, Holy Sacrifice of the Mass, periodically throughout the year, Eucharistic adoration, and we have some resources for adoration. There's some catechetical nights where there's information and learning provided about the Eucharist. We also have a number of saints of the Eucharist, and a little bit of information on Eucharistic hymns, but some ideas for you on that as well. Underneath that, you find the Anima Christi prayer. You'll find that in our faith formation resources, we recommend praying together the Anima Christi. This is something that you can print out, make copies of, cut apart, and hand out to your people. This is a beautiful prayer. Soul of Christ, sanctify me. Body of Christ, save me. So we just encourage you to use that prayer whenever appropriate. Underneath that, you'll find the Year of the Eucharist prayer card. This is our official prayer for the Year of the Eucharist. You probably have a number of these at your parish pre-printed already, but if you want to make copies, it's right here. Additionally, that prayer card is available in Spanish. Then we have the Corpus Christi Novena, and this was a prayer that we prayed leading up to the year of the Eucharist, but certainly could be prayed any time during the year, and perhaps leading up to Corpus Christi at the end of the year of the Eucharist as well. And that's available in English and again in Spanish as well. Underneath that, it says Eucharistic hymns, and there might be more added to this as the year goes on, but right now when you click on this, what you'll find are some of the key hymns that we use for adoration, Eucharistic adoration, and other Eucharistic celebrations. And what you'll see here is we have the Latin, O Salutaris Hostia. You may be familiar with that from Eucharistic adoration. You can certainly sing it in Latin or in English. But what's provided here is an interlinear translation so that you can see what all those Latin words mean. And if you'd like to teach this to your parishioners, you could teach them how to sing it. You could teach them what all of those Latin words mean. And so you have it, you have that there, and then you have the English version of that same hymn as well right here. After that, we have the Pange Lingua. This is the part of the Pange Lingua that begins Tantum Ergo. We often call it the Tantum Ergo, and that's traditionally sung at the end of adoration. So whereas O Salutaris Hostia is sung at the beginning of adoration, we generally sing the Tantum Ergo at the end. Once again, here you have an interlinear translation available so that you can teach your parishioners how to sing it and what it means. And then here you have the entire text of Pange Lingua, which is often sung during Eucharistic processions. And so you have that in Latin and in English as well. And here you have it again. And then underneath that, we have the Salve Regina. It's just a traditional Marian prayers that we sing together. Many people love to sing this. And if they aren't familiar with the Salve Regina, I have a number of people who love to learn it. So this is, basically, this is the Hail Holy Queen in Latin. And so you have the interlinear translation for the Salve Regina as well. That's the hymn section. Underneath that, you'll see a line that says 12 catechetical topics by age group. You can't click on that link because it's these boxes underneath are where you find those. So the first section is the kindergarten through 5th grade section. And when you click on that, you'll find 3 different links. The first one is the catechetical packet. When you click on the catechetical packet, you'll find 12 different catechetical topics, sessions for children in grades kindergarten through 5th. And what you'll find here is that you can click on any one of these in the index and it will take you directly to that section in the document. And so every one of these looks pretty similar. What you'll see is at the top, this is the title of the lesson, and it's a catechetical lesson. There's a brief description of what it will focus on. How much time do you need? Well, we provide a schedule. If you're doing a whole community catechesis, we provide lessons on this same topic for all ages. So there's a K through 5, there's a 6 through 12 lesson, and there's an adult lesson. So you can bring the whole community together and then divide up for this portion where you provide the lesson to them. Next, you'll see the goal of the lesson and the age level, and then a little teaching here, preparation, proclamation, explanation. So this is the teaching itself and how you might present that to the kindergarten through 5th graders. Some possible activities are provided here, and closing information, vocabulary, resources. Do you want to do a meal or snacks together with it? We recommend that for all of these catechetical sessions that you do come together for a communal meal or some snacks or something like that to build the community. And you'll see that information in here as well. Will there be a testimony as part of the event? You might want to invite some of your parishioners to provide a testimony to the whole group about their encounter with Jesus in the Eucharist. And then supplies needed, so we're trying to make that easy for you for the activities, supplies, handouts, volunteers, any advanced preparation that's needed. And then we move on, you'll see, then there's the next lesson. So they all look very similar. That's the catechetical packet. Underneath that, you'll see a link to materials summary. This is just a summary of all the lessons of the year, 1 through 12. And there's artwork associated with that, readings, and then other materials. And so you'll see a great summary of it here in this document. And then, oops, I took that link off. Sorry, here it is again. The artwork handouts. Then there's artwork associated with all the children's lessons, and so you'll find that artwork here. The first section has it on our letterhead in a smaller form, but when you keep scrolling down, you'll find those same art pieces of art in full page, in a full page format, as you can see here. So there's larger versions of those images as well. So that's the kindergarten through grade 5 section. When you click on the 6th through 12th grade section, you'll find something similar. First, the catechetical packet. This looks very similar, again, to the children. You can click on any one of these. It takes you to the lesson. Again, these are organized so that you can do them as whole community and divide up when you get to the age level catechesis. Underneath that, you'll see there's a bar that says Life Teen Edge Eucharist Resources. You can't click on that bar, but what's underneath are lessons straight from Life Teen and Edge that are related to the Eucharist. And so you can click on any one of these, and it will take you to a lesson handout plan for Life Teen or the Edge on the Eucharist. So these are great resources for your 6th through 12th graders. And then finally, you have the adult section. And again, this looks very similar. This will take you just straight to the catechetical lessons. And so you have all of those here in the adult lesson. Again, this is designed so that you could bring the whole community together for a meal, perhaps, then break out into your age levels and do their individual lessons. And then gather the whole community together again for perhaps for a testimony, a closing prayer, and maybe some snacks and fellowship. We really encourage the fellowship aspect of the nights that the Eucharist would bring us together as a community. Underneath that, you have resources for liturgies at faith formation events. This differs a little bit from the top section, which is for Mass on Sundays. This section is if you want to have liturgies at your faith formation events. So maybe you gather on a Wednesday night, you want to have Mass together, you want to have Eucharistic adoration with your children, you can click on any of one of these, and there's a plan there and an outline for you. This is how you would do it. These are supplies you need, volunteers that you need, etc. Next is the year-end review and sharing of graces. This is just something we recommend that as you close the year, perhaps have a night where you just have an opportunity for people to share graces and share their testimonies about the Eucharist. Have a meal together, have fellowship together. It's a very simple night, but really a positive communal night. Next, you have the Eucharistic Saints. They're listed here on underneath Eucharistic Saints. These are the 8 saints that we provided lessons on. There's lots and lots of beautiful Eucharistic Saints. So you can't click on the names individually, but you just click where it says Eucharistic Saints, and it will take you again to a catechetical packet, first of all. So it looks very similar to the catechetical packet for the other age levels. This is intended for the whole community. So these are, if you can keep all your ages together and do a lesson on one of the Eucharistic Saints. Their stories are beautiful and inspiring. Their love for the Eucharist comes through. There's great activities for the whole family, for all ages there. And then underneath that, we have saint images. So every one of those saints, we offered 3 different artwork images that you could use. And you can click on any one of these, and we'll give you a larger version, which if you right-click on that, you can save it. You can copy it, and you can print it. Next, we have Eucharistic artwork. So when you click on Eucharistic artwork, what you're going to get is a whole array of artwork that we found that are all in the public domain that highlight the Eucharist. So you could click on any one of these and again get a larger version of it. And again, you can save that to your desktop if you right-click on the image. And you're welcome to use that for any of your faith formation activities. Next is the Diocesan Library resources. And so what you'll find here are a list of resources that we have in the Diocesan Library. There's great video series, books, DVDs, all sorts of things for adults and teens. There's a number of books for children. There's other programs of study for children. There's a number of videos. There's also a number of resources on forum.org. We didn't list them all here because there are very many. And you can just go to forum.org and do searches on the Eucharist or the Mass if your parish has access to Formed. So these are alternate resources. You could use these instead of or in addition to the resources that we provided. Next, you'll see video testimonies coming soon. We hope that throughout the year that we'll continue to post video testimonies from people about their encounter with Jesus in the Eucharist. So keep checking back on the website. We hope to continually add more and more of those video testimonies throughout the year. Next section, Eucharistic event information. If you click here, you can see Bishop Gruce's proclamation of the Year of the Eucharist. He has a video proclamation, and then you can also click on the decree and the announcement and see the text of those, and you can provide those to your parishioners as well. And then there's information again on the opening Mass. And then some hopes from the diocese are to offer Eucharistic retreats or days of the Eucharist. So keep checking back to see if those opportunities are provided. And then finally, under media downloads, you can see that our logo is available here. You can get that in PDF or JPEG form. If you need a larger version of that, please email us. We weren't able to post the large version on the website. So if you want a larger version of the logo, just contact us. And then the poster, which you probably have a number of these posters at your parish, but you can get a PDF of that and print your own. And then finally, you can use our artwork for the beautiful banners for the Year of the Eucharist, and that's available in PDF and JPEG as well. So that's a brief summary of all of the resources that are available here at yearoftheeucharist.org. We hope you find this helpful, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us at the Office of Faith Formation. God bless.